Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV. So April finds us once again in the Columbia River Gorge here, between Oregon and Washington. Last year we had come through here and wanted to return again. Last year we stayed at a free campsite up here near Rufus and visited a Maryhill Museum and Stonehenge, a few things like that. And then we also came down through here and stayed at the Columbia Discovery Museum in their parking lot, and then stayed a few nights at Memelu State Park and toured the Columbia River Gorge Scenic area. So this time through, we decided to check out this little state park on the Washington side called Columbia Hills Historic State Park. It's right very close to what they call the Dalles. There's a little city on this bend here. They had dammed this back in the day, and they've created, sort of a lake back here. A lot of the old stuff has been submerged. Anyway, right in this little corner here, they've created a campground, and there's also a lake that was created. There's a railway that goes by here. So there's a few things to see in this park. There's not very many camping sites that are located in here. I think there's only about 10. Maybe about 6 or 7 are hookup sites, and then there's a couple dry camping. This time of year was first come, first serve, and it's been about half full, so not really that busy. We were able to get a site no problem. There's some petroglyphs down here. When they flooded this area for the dam, they took some of the petroglyphs and put them along here, the rocks that have them. They said there was thousands of them and they only chose a certain amount. I guess the rest are buried down there. So we'll show you that. And we also go up here and take this hike. This is called Horsethief Butte, Horsethief Lake, and Horsethief Campground. And there's a hike that goes along here, so we're going to go around here. I'll show you the river view, and also I hiked up into the butte here and up onto here, and I'll give you some views from there. Down here we didn't really do much with this, but oops, sorry about that. Down the road there's Crawford trails. You can go there. There was a little waterfall running parking lot, but you can go hike up into the back country. There's a lot of hiking up in the hills. We did go up to this Dalles Mountain ranch trailhead and checked out. There's some old buildings here and an old car, and Dalles Mountain ranch car. We went and checked that out. Kind of drove around the hills a bit, but you can see there's all sorts of hiking. I almost think that maybe people park up here, and I saw lots of people going downhill, and I'm like, oh, they're going to go way downhill and then they're going to have to come all the way back. But I guess maybe they park down here and park up there, and then they can drive back and get their car. Anyway, we'll go on the ground and give you some video of the attractions there, and then finish with a slideshow. So let's get to it. So I'll give you a 360 on the ground here at Columbia Hills State Park. See a barge moving up the Columbia River there. Swing over to the Washington side. They've made sort of a lake here. So people come and launch their boats at this state park. There's a boat launch, and people actually fish off the shore. Right across there is, I think it's Horsethief Butte. There's a trail that supposedly goes around there. We might check that out tomorrow. Yeah, so over in the park day use area, we saw some people fishing, and they were catching a ton of little trout. And then over this way is where the campground is, very small. Just a few sites, first come, first serve this time of year. And I couldn't get a dry camping one. There's just 3 or 4, so I had to get an electric and water. There's a dump station. It was 35 this time of year. I think it's 42 in the high season. And then we've just come over here, short little walker drive, and there's some Native American petroglyphs here along these stone walls. So Anne's going to take some photos of those. I'll grab a few photos too for you. And then swinging back more towards the west, you can see down around the corner there is the Dalles. It's called a little town. And on the other side of the river, you can hear the traffic on Interstate 84 going down towards Portland, or the other direction is Pendleton. So there's also train tracks over there and train tracks on this side, so if train noise bothers you, this is probably not a great spot. We hardly even notice the trains anymore after having them down in the desert quite often near us. Anyway, today is April 24th, and we're getting a little warm spell. It's going to go up around 24, 25 Celsius and around 80 degrees for the next 2 days, and then it's even going to climb up a bit more. We'll probably head a bit north after that as we make our way back to Vancouver Island. So I was just reading this sign that these petroglyphs were actually in a different spot when they built the reservoir behind the Dalles Dam. They took some samples of them. There were thousands of others, and they stored them for a while in different spots. And then it says here 2003 they were returned here. You can see the giant rocks there. Wow, that's pretty cool. So we're just going to take a walk out the Horsethief Butte trail, see what we can see here. Looks like there's a short hike from the parking lot around the front of the butte. We can get a river viewpoint. Just get a nice look down at the campground and over to Mount Hood way off in the distance there. Getting towards late April here, getting some nice flowers. Spring flowers are starting to crop up. Should be a nice hike. Wow, gorgeous views. See down there where I was at the Petroglyphs. And right down there is where the campground is. And they have a big day use area. People come and fish, that sort of thing. This lake, a man-made lake where they cut off the Columbia River with the railway tracks there. And we have the highway on the Washington side here going by. Beautiful. Here's a really pretty little area. All the spring flowers blooming. Looks like there's a path you can climb up in there. People come here to rock climb. I'm seeing signs about it. Lots of birds. Okay, made it out to the end here, what they call the river view. Give you a 360 from out here. It's April 27th. Kind of in the morning right now. We're getting about 70 degrees. Gonna get up into the low 80s today, I think. And lucky for us, it's calm winds. This particular spot is known to be very windy in the gorge here. See, across there is Interstate 84 going down to Portland. And then we got the Dalles. It's the name of the town there. There's a bridge that goes across to over here on the Washington side. And then you can see Mount Hood just looking amazing after the winter snows. They haven't melted yet. Look at that. Now that looks like a volcano peak, doesn't it? It's one of many along the Pacific Northwest. It's Mount Rainier near Seattle, Mount Baker up by British Columbia, and of course Mount St. Helens that blew its top. Butte looks pretty cool here. Not many people around this time of year. Just met a few other hikers, that's it. Gorgeous. And back around. Looks like they don't let you go right around the Butte. Habitat restoration. I think I'll try a hike. See if I can get to the top of the bluff. Tons of these yellow wildflowers here. Looks like there's some petroglyphs in there they're protecting. There we go. Made it up on the top part. Lots of little trails and bouldering and rock climbing to do up here. See Anne way down there in a flower patch doing some of her flower photography. Where is she? There she is. Maybe she can take a photo of me up here. Anyway, the view's even better up here. You can hear the train go by. Lots of trains go by here on both sides, quite a corridor. And you get lots of tugs pushing barges. You see quite a few swallows up here. They seem to have blue backs. See a dude down there having a great day fishing. See the Dalles a little better from up here. And Mount Hood looks even better up here. Nice. And right below is the camping day use area. Mr. Lizard, where'd you go? There he is. Hi, Mr. Lizard. Okay, we'll leave you alone. There's a nice little home here. So close to the big trees of the Pacific Northwest, but still a little bit deserty here, right on the dividing line. So there's the old Dalles ranch house, and there's a parking lot there where you can park and hike all over the hills. We just drove up this road a bit to a nice patch of flowers. Blue and yellow flowers, wildflowers. Nice views again. Walk away from the ranch, there's this old car. Looks like from the 30s or maybe early 40s. Not sure, but it's been there a long time. Have to walk downhill a ways to get here. But there's a path up by one of the buildings, kind of across from the old wagon. Would have been a nice spot back in the day here. It's kind of sheltered from the west wind here. There's all sorts of hiking trails along here. I saw people going down there hiking around.